You're welcome. We want to look at elements of an assurance engagement. This topic is very critical for candidates writing professional auditing examinations. Uh, what is an assurance engagement? According to International Framework for Assurance Engagements, assurance engagement means an engagement in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended users other than the responsible party about the outcome of the evaluation or measurement of a subject matter against criteria. Now that looks very technical, all right, but really it is very simple. So what they are saying there is that there is a responsible party, which a lot of time is the directors. So let's look at financial audit, for example. So the directors prepare the financial statement. The intended users are the shareholders. All right. So the practitioner now is the auditor. All right. The external auditing firm. So you have the practitioner, the external auditing firm. You have responsible party, which are the directors. All right. Then you have the intended users, which are the shareholders. All right. So the responsible party has prepared financial statement for the intended users. All right. But since the intended users were not there when those financials were being prepared, they need an assurance, they need confidence, they need comfort. And based on that, the practitioner, the external auditors are now brought in to look at the financials and measure those financials, which is the subject matter this time around, against a criteria. So the criteria may be international financial reporting standard, all right, maybe IPSAS if it is a public sector organization. So basically, that is what that definition is saying. So in an assurance engagement, you have three parties. So you have the practitioner, the assurance practitioner, all right, trying to give assurance to the users of the subject matter, maybe a financial statement or an environmental report or a report on the effectiveness or reliability of controls in an organization. So it could be anything, all right. But the main fact is that as intended users, we are not going to take what we are given by the directors or by the responsible party, incline and sinker. We need a third party validation. And that is basically what assurance engagement is all about. So auditing is a type of assurance engagement. There are other types of engagement apart from auditing. For example, review. Review engagement is not audit, okay, but it's a type of assurance engagement. So, what are the elements of an assurance engagement? You know, number one is it's always a three-party relationship. So you have the assurance practitioner, right, who might be the auditor. You have the responsible party, which is the auditee now, the directors of the company or the organization you are auditing. All right, then you have the users, which are the shareholders. Okay, so it depends. For example, for internal audit, okay, the assurance practitioner will be the internal auditor. The responsible party will be perhaps the HOD of the department you are auditing. Then, of course, the users will be maybe the CEO or the audit committee of that particular organization. So always, there are always three uh, party parties to an assurance engagement: the preparer of the subject matter, the users of the subject matter, and then the practitioner that will validate the subject matter for the users. Okay. The second element of assurance engagement is the subject matter itself. So, like I said, the subject matter could be a financial statement, it could be an environmental report, it could be a report on the reliability of controls within the organization. It could actually be anything. It could be based on assertions that have been made by management on the application maybe the report or acquired. So resources are reasonably utilized on the acquisition of this application. That's an assertion. Okay, the investors or the shareholders may not want to agree with that assertion. Just like that, they may bring an auditor or an assurance practitioner to come and validate how the application was acquired or maybe the controls within the application that management is saying, are effective. So the subject matter basically could be anything that the auditor or the assurance practitioner is called upon to come and validate. Then the another element of assurance engagement is the criteria. The criteria. So that is the basis that the auditors or the assurance practitioner will use to measure the subject matter. For example, if the subject matter is a financial statement, a suitable criteria accepted internationally is IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. So I want to know whether you have prepared the financials in accordance in line with IFRS. Okay. If I want to do a business continuity audit, all right, I'm going to use ISO 22301. Okay, that's a criteria internationally accepted as a standard on business continuity management. Okay, so the criteria is going to be is going to depend on the type of engagement, type of assurance engagement. But whatever criteria we use, it has to be something convincing. It has to be something neutral. It has to be something that can be used to validate your audit opinion. Okay, then the fourth element is evidence. So based when you compare the what the criteria is saying, what the standard is saying, compare with what you are saying in the subject matter, you might be able to gather evidence of either compliance or non-compliance. Okay, so the evidence have to be sufficient, it has to be appropriate, it has to have quality, it has to have quantity, all right, but it must be reasonable enough to convince an objective user that yes, there are irregularities, or no, there are no irregularity. All right, so that is very important. Evidence must be verifiable, must be sufficient enough, must be reliable enough to convince an objective viewer of what the assurance practitioner has done. Then, of course, based on the evidence, you need to write a report. That is the last element of an assurance engagement. So you need to write a report which is going to be for the consumption of the intended users, okay, of that subject matter. So in summary, you can memorize that if you're writing, an audit professional exam, okay. So the way to memorize that, you can just use CREST, okay. So C is standing for criteria, R is standing for report, E is standing for evidence, S is standing for subject matter, T is standing for three-party relationship, and that makes it easy for you to cram uh, and to remember on the day of exam.